Hey, so hello everyone. This is Marcin, FM World UK product trainer. So welcome to a product webinar today. Today my guest is Dr. Tomasz Jezewski. So you already know him. He's a cardiologist, he's an internist. So he's the second time on our live streaming. Today I invited Tomasz Jezewski to talk about our good mood tea. So welcome, Tomasz.
Hello, Marcin. Hello, everyone.
Thank you very much for joining us. So how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine. So it's a nice day connected with you. Of course, it's a better day than normal my cardiology duty. So it's a nice topic we have today. So I'm looking forward for this discussion.
Yes, so today we're going to talk about just one product, but it's quite comprehensive product. It contains many beneficial ingredients, mostly herbal ingredients. And we're going to discuss the benefits of the product. We're going to go through the list of the herbs the product contains. And also we will be able to answer some of your questions. If you have any, you can post the questions to the chat on our Facebook. So if you watch the training session live, you can just put #live. If you watch a reply, you can just put #reply. So let me just share some slides because that will be quite handy for everyone to see what we're discussing and what sort of ingredients that tea contains. Okay, so I hope that everyone can see the slides. So the Good Mood Tea isn't a new product. It's been with us for quite a while. This month is the product of the month. So I'm not quite sure if you're aware of that, but you can join and participate in our incentive program, which details you can find on our website. So a Good Mood Tea is the product of the month. So we are looking for a top seller. So if you will be the person by the end of the month who will sell the biggest number of this product, you will be the winner of this incentive program. So for terms and conditions of this incentive program, I recommend you to go to our website and familiarize yourself with the terms and conditions of the product. But I think today's webinar also will help you to promote the product among your business partners, customers, because the more you know about the product, the easier it is for you to promote it. So the Good Mood Tea, we can say it's a herbal tea, right, Tomasz, because it contains a lot of herbal ingredients, but it also contains green tea, especially the morning one.
Yeah. It's I like this this product, and it's definitely one of my completely favorite FM products because it's 100 organic, and I want to stress it strongly. It is a nice connection between let's say practicality of use and the list of benefits we will go through in a minute. So because almost everyone is used to drink tea on everyday basis, so ease of use and the list of benefits, it's the perfect connection, and that's why it is truly my favorite product. And I have my bag here of Good Mood Tea. I take it with me when I'm traveling, so it is my essential product, I can say.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and guys, there are 25 sachets of the day well-being tea and 25 sachets of the night calm tea. So generally speaking, we can say that the morning tea will boost your energy. So it contains that sort of herbal composition that will give you more energy, better mental clarity, and also it will help to motivate you to start off your day. However, the evening tea, the good night tea, it will help to relax your senses, your mind. It will help you fall asleep as well. And so, yes, we are going to discuss both. Sometimes the problem is that when people think about tea, they think of it as a beverage. They don't really think of tea as a supplement, as something that contains certain ingredients that can benefit your health. So we've been discussing that with Tomasz just before we started. So Tomasz, do you agree with that? That people think of a tea as a beverage only, and normally they don't really think of a tea as something of health benefits?
Yes, because it's the simple way of thinking about this this product. But on the other hand, we are used to it, so it's not a new thing for us, like mysterious capsules or something. So that's the good part of it. But today we will try to convince you about this perfect connection, beverage. So it is also a nice connection with the everyday hydration, which is also important. So you should be hydrated, and with this hydration, with this kind of beverage, as you said, Marcin, we will deliver a lot of good, very diversified, nutritious compounds.
Mm-hmm. So here you can clearly see the day composition of the tea and the night composition of the tea. So as you can see, you can find in there the daytime. So let's focus on the daytime. So green tea leaves, you've got apple peel, you've got ginger, peppermint leaves, rowan berries, ginseng, guarana seeds, rich in caffeine, licorice root, bacopa leaf, and ginkgo leaves. So yeah, quite rich in terms of herbal composition. So Tomasz, can we focus first on the green tea leaves? Because even the green tea contains a lot of benefits, right?
Yeah, I was thinking how to break down these old compounds just to make it practical for listeners. And I thought that we can, draw some axes. And the first axis, if we concentrate on the day blend, I would say it is this energizing axis. And this axis is around the caffeine, of course. And we have here green tea, we have here guarana, we have, of course, ginseng, which is energizing. We have bacopa, which is neuroprotective. Ginkgo biloba, which also helps our memory and cognitive function. So as you can see, we have in this morning blend, we have very strong, let's say, neuro and brain protection and brain activation. This blend prepares us to work efficiently. So we will get this neuro boost, I would say, which is, of course, completely organic. So I think it is the most important part of this morning blend, because you get the energy, you get the boost in cognitive function, you get the better focus. So it is important for us to get in the connection with what's all around us. Yes. And we will, of course, a little bit later talk about this caffeine concentration, which can be, of course, beneficial, but for some people can make some contraindication. Of course, we know caffeine. The second axis is, I would say, it is like anti-inflammatory. It's like immunity boosting axis. It's an axis connected with a lot of antioxidants, minerals, and vitamins. And very interesting compound is apple peel, because I don't know whether you are familiar, but in the peels generally of the fruits and veggies, the concentration of antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals is very high. It's 100 times higher, even to 300 times higher than in the pulp of the fruit.
Yeah,
that's why this apple peel extract was picked here to be put here, because it's very efficient and very rich in those compounds. So this is the second axis that ensures the delivery of antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals. Of course, together with this apple peel, you have peppermint, you have a very strong rowan berries compound, and licorice root as well. Yeah. So it was, let's say, a very nutritious and diversified source of vitamins. Next, something about the beauty and how we look. It's hair and skin.
Let's focus a little bit on the peppermint, because in Poland, for instance, but I think the same thing happens in other countries, including the UK. Peppermint helps with digestion processes, right? So, for example, if you eat something quite heavy, then if you have warm peppermint tea, that helps with digestion. And so basically, for those of you who are maybe not familiar how it works, we can say that basically peppermint calms the muscles of the stomach, the smooth muscles of the stomach. In this way, it improves the flow of bile, a bile is very helpful when you eat greasy food, so it helps to digest food. So when you drink peppermint tea, peppermint will help to relax the muscles, the smooth muscles of your stomach, so the food passes through the stomach more quickly. And in this way, you can digest, especially the greasy food, much faster, right?
Yes, you just, Marcin, you just said what the next axis that was on my list. But your description was perfect.
Maybe that was just introduction.
Yeah, no. You did it really perfectly. So we in this axis, when I would call it digestive axis, detoxifying axis, we have peppermint, as you said, but also the ginger as well. Really acts very nicely here, dealing with our digestions and symptoms connected with it, and detoxifying our body, so helping our liver to detoxify our body, because it is given in the morning. We expect that you will eat during the day, so you should be prepared for some, of course, maybe, as you said, greasy food and not so light meals. So this is very important. But also, if you start talking about the peppermint menthol, so the substance in the peppermint leaves, also relieves the congestion if you have symptoms of flu, respiratory tract infections. Remember that the peppermint also helps in those symptoms, relieving congestion in the sinuses, in the nose, reducing coughing intensity. So it is also good during any kind of respiratory infections and problems. So talking about different symptoms relief, we also should stress muscle pains, because during the day you work, you can go training to the gym, fitness club, and the ginger for the second time is very effective in relieving muscle pain and and peppermint with muscle cramps as well, because it relaxes our muscles. So those, as you can see, those two ingredients are effective in many symptoms and problems.
But also ginger soothes inflammation, right? And it's very good for supporting the immune system as well. So that's generally speaking a very good a combination of ingredients that will help not only digestion but also boost the immune system, reduce inflammation, and help with muscular pains, for instance.
Yes. Generally speaking, its anti-inflammatory potential, it's a common characteristic for all those herbs in this tea. So I didn't want to, let's say, repeat myself like in the webinar. If you go through this specific every compound, you repeat anti-inflammatory. So it is common characteristic. So it is, this whole blend of this tea is very potent anti-inflammatory blend.
Yeah. And I just want to also draw everybody's attention to guarana seeds and the caffeine in guarana seed, right? So we can see that it's minimum 32 milligrams. So the caffeine that comes from coffee beans is slightly different than the caffeine that comes from guarana seeds, right? So basically guarana is a little bit more richer in caffeine, but the caffeine works slightly differently. It's slow release, we can say. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. You don't have such a peak, I would say, after drinking. The effect is more gradual, so it's better tolerated than, let's say, coffee shot. This sipping of the tea gives you, let's say, a gradual boost. I don't know whether.
So yes, when you drink coffee, the caffeine gives you a kick. So basically, you may feel a kick of energy very quickly, but then the energy may go down quite quickly as well. So compared to guarana seeds, the caffeine from guarana seeds, you may not feel the kick of energy right away, but you're gonna feel the effect of the caffeine for longer.
That's why I more frequently use guarana and the green tea, because the second source of caffeine in this tea is green tea leaves. So both them, I drink them during my ambulatory patient consultation, and I sip this tea gradually, and they, let's say, I will maintain my energy level this way. I don't have these ups and downs. Yes.
Yeah. So you mentioned now the green tea leaves. The green tea leaves are believed to be high in polyphenols, right? Including flavonoids. That's a group of polyphenols. I just want to focus on two benefits. First of all, it is believed and also scientifically proven that green tea is beneficial. It has a beneficial effect on blood sugar control or blood sugar level, but also it can reduce heart disease. So you, as an expert, a cardiologist, what can you say about that?
Yeah, as you've heard, I told you that I drink at work green tea because it's my heart protection. It's a good, we have good data for this. The green tea also is anti-inflammatory. So it is one cardioprotective way. It reduces cholesterol levels. It boosts our immunity with those polyphenols. So and it's also and we will go with the contraindications, but it is a benefit of green tea that is a slight blood thinner. So so from the cardiological point of view, it helps your blood flow more easily, and it reduces this clotting tendency and activation. So it's very important from my cardiology perspective. In green tea.
So before we move on to the night tea sachets, so you mentioned the blood thinning properties of green tea. So, for example, that some people that may take some medications as blood thinners, even aspirin, right? Is one of those medications that can make blood thinner. Would you put any limits on drinking green tea?
Yeah, we want to talk also about the resteeping. Not really, because if you don't have the history of active bleeding, I wouldn't limit the tea consumption. For those patients who have particular history of active bleeding from the gastric ulcers, from the urinary tract bleeding, for this particular group, I would advise limiting the consumption together with drugs, because that was the question, as aspirin. For the rest, if you don't have history of active bleeding, you can drink it with no problem.
Mm-hmm. So basically, if we can sum up all of the benefits of the day tea, what can we say about that? Just in a sentence or two.
It gives you a boost. It prepares you for work, for training, for being active, for for everyday activity. And it gives you a little bit help with the digestion of the meals during your coming day.
Mm-hmm. And it's perfect to drink in the morning or early afternoon if somebody wants to.
Yeah, I would advise to drink it before 3 p.m. Yeah, so the first steep and the resteeping, we should try to drink this blend before 3 p.m. This is my practice.
Okay, perfect. So now let's move on to the night sachets. So the night calm. So as you can see, the combination of herbs is slightly different. So there's no repetition. So we can have hibiscus. We've got black chokeberry fruit, hawthorn fruit, chamomile, lavender, lemon balm, cistus, which is quite interesting herb, and I'm not sure if everyone is familiar with it, verbena, natural leaves, and fennel fruit. So what would you like to start from? Tomasz?
I would like, just for let's say sake of practicality, to break down those compounds into two axes. So the most important, in my opinion, is the calming and relaxation axis, which is first, and the second axis will be, again, let's say digestive axis. Because all those compounds, again, have anti-inflammatory effects, and these are source of a lot of vitamins, antioxidants, and phytonutrients. But those two axes, let's say, are most important from the practical point of view, because in the evening, we want to calm down, we want to relax, we want to, let's say, detoxify, clear ourselves from the stress, and we have huge help with this night blend. Just to almost all, let's say, almost all compounds are in this first axis, this calming and relaxation axis. So hawthorn fruit, lavender, lemon balm, which is in Poland called melissa because it's a Latin name, melissa, cistus herbs, very important and interesting, verbena, fennel fruit. All those compounds help you relax. reduce the level of your anxiety, reduce stress level. And of course, this way will help you get to sleep and regenerate before next day. And the second digestive axis, because you ate all day, so this is this digestive part. So fennel fruit coming from the end, let's say nettle leaf, verbena, cistus, lemon balm, lavender flower, chokeberry. These are very important digestive helping compounds, and the hibiscus, which is first, helps your liver to detoxify. So with the hibiscus, you have liver protection. But hibiscus is also very important for me as a cardiologist because, and it is also very nice to have it in this evening blend, because hibiscus lowers blood pressure. And we know, and I know as cardiologist, that many people who have problem with blood pressure have higher blood pressure in the afternoon and evening hours. That's a time we have problem with this elevation of blood pressure. And then we have this help from hibiscus part in this blend, which is very effective blood pressure reducing compound. So very interesting blend, and very nice that we have it here.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's quite interesting and important to mention that basically during the day our body functions in the fight and flight mode. So yeah. we should have quite a lot of energy to face the challenges of the daytime, but in the evening, the body goes into rest and digest mode, because we've got two nervous systems, right? So we've got the nervous system that helps us with the energy kick, and we've got the other part which helps us rest and digest. So perhaps you've heard about the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. So basically those two systems, they cannot work together at once. So either you are stimulated by the sympathetic nervous system or parasympathetic nervous system. And the very interesting thing is that if you cannot calm down in the evening, it means that your sympathetic nervous system, the fight and flight, is overtaking. And the very important thing for you to notice is that when you are in the fight and flight mode, when the sympathetic nervous system takes over, your digestion doesn't take place in the way it should. Is that correct?
Yes.
So that's why it's very important to really try to calm down, gently relax, thanks to the lemon balm, lavender, for instance, or chamomile. That will help to soothe your senses, and it will help to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system, so your digestion will be stimulated. Yes,
Marcin, I don't know what to say, because you explained it so simply and so nicely. That's the balance we have during our lives. The sympathetic and parasympathetic systems are in balance, but the advantage of the sympathetic stimulation is during the day, and the advantage and more stimulation of the parasympathetic should occur during evening and at night. This is this regeneration part, and of course digestion. So that's how it works, and the long list of those ingredients that help stimulate parasympathetic system is focused and concentrated in this night blend.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so is there anything that we should add in terms of the night sachets, or we can move on to a few questions about the tea in general?
There's no sense talking about that they have a lot of vitamin C and vitamin A, because you will find a lot of vitamins, a lot of phytonutrients in both day and night blend. We want to focus on specific, let's say, way of acting and what differs this morning and night blend, and I think it's clear now.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. So let's take a look, guys, at few questions. So perhaps some of you may be wondering if there are any contraindications to drinking the tea.
Yeah, it is a very important question, because it's always question about safety are most important. Of course, if you start to search the information about the drinking tea and safety, the most common word will be the caffeine. Majority of let's say side effects are connected with this compound, and of course, if you have any cardiological history, heart problems like arrhythmia, tachycardia, you shouldn't drink too much caffeine, let's say. This blend, specifically morning blend, contains caffeine, but it's like you said, Marcin, it's a slow release caffeine. I wouldn't say that it is a lot of this compound, and this kick is not so strong as in a, let's say, energy drink scenario. But for some people who are sensitive for caffeine, and we have to stress, because majority of us will tolerate it very easily, but some people are genetically more sensitive to caffeine, and it can cause the side effects. Yes. Mm-hmm. The second group is pregnancy and breastfeeding, and of course, it differs, but we should be aware. Of course, it's a good blend, but if we have to be cautious, again, we have to be more cautious with this morning blend because of the caffeine concentration. But the tolerance will be, let's say, individual. It's not contraindicated, but you should observe your reactions. And sometimes, if we go to the re-steep question, sometimes, for instance, use only one steep and not re-steep this tea, because for some people can be too much. And breastfeeding are the more sensitive, of course, situation. Mm-hmm. Again, we have bleeding disorders. We talked about this situation a little bit. Some of the herbs help prevents blood clotting a little bit naturally. They are not strong blood thinners, but natural blood thinners. If you have those herbs, naturally your blood will flow more easily. So I would say that it is a big benefit of this. You will lower the risk of myocardial infarction, of neurological problems, but together with the drugs on board for some people, and for some people who have history of active bleedings, you should be cautious with this herbal, with connecting tea with the prescription drugs, and you should consult your doctor. What more with, of course, anemia, maybe. With the tea, you can come across the problem with the iron absorption. So the important and practical issue is not to drink tea together with your meals. This kind of tea is perfect solution between your meals, not during your meals. That's the general rule. With the patients with the I was talking about hibiscus that lowers blood pressure, but you should remember that for the licorice root can elevate a little bit blood pressure. So some people have to be cautious with the licorice root and observe your body reaction after licorice root ingestion. So I remind you, it is in this day blend of good mood tea. What more? I would say that these are, let's say, main contraindications or scenarios when you should observe your body. I wouldn't call it contraindications for the tea because these are very rare. I would more stress that you should observe how your body reacts after this day or night blend of the tea. Some people have, for instance, irritable bowel syndrome, and if they have IBS, after the morning tea with the caffeine, they of course can have some symptoms. You should just observe your tolerance.
Yes, everyone is different, and especially those of you who don't really drink herbal teas, they should really try and observe themselves, especially during their first few days. And if somebody would like to, because the tea is completely natural, so it doesn't contain any artificial colors, any artificial sweeteners or anything like that. So do you think that if somebody would like to make it a little bit sweeter, is it okay to add some honey to the tea?
Yes, of course. Honey is not a perfect solution for me because I try not to put any sweetener. I like to cut simple sugars in my diet as much as possible. But if you like honey, it's completely okay, but I would advise to add honey to the tea before, let's say, midday, before midday. So in the morning, for me, it's okay to put some honey, but later during the day, I would limit this amount of sweeteners.
Okay, so let's move on to question number 2. We've mentioned that a little bit today. So can you re-steep herbal tea?
Yes, this steeping helps you extract more from this herbal blend. So you will be more efficient extracting all those benefits from this herbal compounds. So re-steeping those herbal teas is completely okay. And again, with re-steeping, you hydrate yourself more. So it is very nice. I re-steep my herbal teas 2 or 3 times. It depends. For some compounds, I guess for ginger, for instance, it's even, you can get even more ginger in the second steep, from the second steep than from first. If you have some cinnamon as well, re-steeping is a more efficient way of drinking herbal blends generally. So it is okay.
Yes, so because some people may think like when you steep the tea for the second or third time, it may lose some of the properties, but as we just explained, it's not necessarily true.
Marcin, It is quite logical point of view,
yes.
because for some ingredients from the second and third step you get a little bit maybe less of from some
flavor.
herbs.
Even the flavor, right?
Even the flavor will be, yes, of course,
modified.
but still you get a lot of ingredients, and some herbs need more time. So generally, this first and second and even third step together is a good algorithm, let's say, of drinking herbal tea.
Okay, and is the tea gluten-free? Because a lot of people nowadays are gluten intolerant, and so is it gluten-free?
Yes, generally, tea leaves do not contain any gluten. Generally, those herbs, apart from true, let's say, tea leaves, herbal leaves, do not contain gluten. But so in this blend, day and night, you will have a blend which is completely gluten-free. But generally, if you look for tea blends, there is a small risk of let's say gluten contamination or you can come across some gluten if they try to sweet this blend, for instance, with some amount of barley. Yes, you can come across some gluten, but it's not this case. In this is a completely gluten-free product.
Mm-hmm. And just maybe an extra question. Obviously, these teas are really herbal. They contain a lot of herbal ingredients. So would you recommend drinking the tea for a certain period of time and then take a break? Or it doesn't really matter, someone can drink the tea as long as they want without taking any breaks?
For me, it's every day. It's a workhorse for me, this kind of blend, because I can use it every day. As I said, I try to finish my resteeping of the daily blend before 3 p.m. And starting from 5 p.m., I can start sipping my evening or night blend. So this is a perfect product as I started. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so guys, just one more thing that I would like to mention is that we've got a great thermal bottles that will keep beverages hot and cold. So summertime, unfortunately, is coming to an end. I've heard that in the UK, we're going to have a heat wave next week, but it's not going to last for long. So the evenings are getting colder. The mornings are getting a little bit more chilly. So I think that's a perfect product to get along with the tea if you want to keep it warm in the morning or in the evening on the go. So take a look also in our online shop. We may have current promotion going on. So for details, always refer to our news section on the website or just go to our Facebook page. So thank you very much, Tomasz, for joining us this afternoon. That was really, really beneficial. I hope to see you soon with a big portion of information on other Nutricode products.
Okay, it was a pleasure as always, Marcin. Thank you for invitation. Thank you for having me. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much. See you soon. Take care, everyone.